Hello, friends. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. We're here on the Ultimate Guard live Twitch channel, and I'm going to play some Modern Horizons Booster Draft. I'm quite looking forward to it. Actually, please hold for one moment. How's everybody doing today? Woohoo! Let's do it. Oh, I gotta change the stream title. Alright, I suspect I should probably take Pinnacle Monk, Disciple of Freyalise, maybe Basking Brood Scale. I'm going to take the Pinnacle Monk, but in the meantime, I have to find a way to change the stream title.
On the shape of the puzzle pieces and how this.
Okay, that worked. All right, so anyway, tuning back in, I have this Pinnacle Monk. I don't think Power Balance is that great a card. Bespoke Battle Wagon is kind of cool if I wanted to go blue-red energy. Yeah, okay, so the cards to pay attention to are like Wither and Bloom in black, Bespoke Battle Wagon for blue-red, Power Balance if I wanted to stay in red, maybe the Battle Mage if I just wanted to take an objectively good card that doesn't fit with my color. But I decided to go with Wither and Bloom. The thing that's annoying is that black and red is like a pretty synergy driven color combination rather than just being, like a good cards removal deck. But I don't mind this start because I can play both of these cards in any red-black deck, or I can just take two different tracks here where maybe I get into like, black-white or red-blue. I don't know, kind of just picking a good card that felt safe there. Now I'm going to take Fanged Flames. I think that makes sense as just another good removal spell. It's possible I'm being too kind of like old school drafting of prioritizing objectively good cards when I should really be diving in headfirst into an archetype like blue-red energy, but I guess I'll have to learn that the hard way if this is a bad strategy for drafting this set. So now I'm seeing no black cards really. The best red card is Glimpse the Impossible, but I see this Nightshade Dryad as a little bit of a standout. in terms of power level here. Even the Witch Enchanter is kind of nice, but I think I think like Siege Smash or Glimpse of the Impossible are too weak for me to stay on the track that I'm on. Instead, I'm going to take the Nightshade Dryad, and then I can be red green or red black, or sorry, red green or green black, or just whatever the situation calls for. Okay, Copy Crook now is a standout card, but Refurbished Familiar. I guess I could take the Familiar because I'm willing to put that in any black deck, and if I do go exactly red black, this is probably one of the best commons for that affinity archetype. So I think there was one of these in my opening pack too. So if that wheels, then maybe I just put the blinders on and draft black red artifacts or black red value or something. Here's the Jund colored landscape, which is kind of cool. Wouldn't mind a Grim Servant. Wouldn't mind a Skoa Ember Mage. I'll just take the landscape. I mean, that's the one card that's guaranteed making my deck, right? Urza's Incubator, no thank you. Wow, just an all blue and white pack. Feeling a bit lost here in terms of my draft. I'm going to take the Void Pouncer. Yeah, I don't know. This has been a tough draft. I don't feel like I have a clear direction. I'm seeing kind of mixed signals. Maybe it's best for me to just say, like, okay, I'm red with either black, green, or white as a secondary color. So now... this card really does not seem that strong. Might be more interested in taking Hunger Tide Rises or Transmogrant. Which, if I do want to go black-red, I probably need to spend picks like that. I'm going to continue just... I don't know what the word is. Being non-committal. So now Nyxborn, Unicorn, and the Dog Umbra came late. Should I just be white-red? I'm, struggling here. I think I need to commit to white at this point. Like, the Refurbished Familiar didn't work out. I think black is not going to work out as a color here. Okay, and this is some nice late white cards, so maybe we're into just red white or green white. All right, I think I finally found a lane, which is white with something as a second color. All right, and a playable white card. 14th pick, I needed that. Eldrazi Linebreaker. Devoid trample at the beginning of your combat on your turn. Target creature you control gains haste and gets +X/+0, where X is number of Eldrazi's you control. So this card is obscene. It does require colorless mana, which is a significant cost. There's Stump Stomp, which keeps me open to either green or red as a secondary color. There's Dog Umbra. The thing is, okay, I already have the Void Pouncer too. So if I want to go red white and spend some picks on colorless lands, it could work out. But maybe I'm supposed to just take Dog Umbra because it's the safest, like lock up a guaranteed playable in the color that I'm willing to commit to. And again, it's just the colorless mana in the mana cost that's scaring me off of the Line Breaker. That is definitely a great card. Glyph Elemental, probably one of the best white non-rares in the format, so I'm happy to take that. I would be happy with Glasswing, Grace, or Nyxborn Unicorn as well. I mean, in Pack 1, the Unicorn Wield, it's a lot to hope for, as I do think that's one of the best white commons, but if that was to happen, I would suddenly be feeling good about an otherwise challenging draft. Muster the Departed. Get a Spirit token, beginning of your end step. If a creature died this turn, populate. Or the Scurry of Gremlins. I think that's... Scurry of Gremlins is enough for me to just be like, okay, I'm red-white, let's put the blinders on. So from... at one point thinking I might be black-green, I'm now totally locked into white-red. White-red is technically an energy theme deck, but I'm fine to just say, like, okay, I'm white-red. White-red, you know, good cards. White-red beatdown. Interesting stuff here. It seems like I should take Galvanic Discharge, but we've got, in a slightly different world, Corum the Undertaker, Angel of Ruins. Galvanic Discharge should be better in this deck than either Fanged Flames or Expel the Unworthy. And then Void Pouncer has the colorless mana challenge. And I've even managed to get a couple of nice instants and sorceries to return with Pinnacle Monk, so that's cool. Hey, we got a raid from Solaris. Solaris, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everybody, to the Ultimate Guard Live channel. I'm Reid Duke, for those of you who don't know me, playing some Modern Horizons 3 draft. And this channel here is going to have a variety of awesome guest streamers. So you should probably just, you know, click follow and wait and see when somebody that you like to watch is live, because everybody from the Ultimate Guard network is going to be spending some time here. Anyway, I'm going to take Ghostfire Slice. No shortage of good removal. Barbarian Ring, Sundering Eruption. Skoa Ember Mage. Thraben Charm. I feel like I don't need the Thraben Charm because I have so many removal spells already. It's maybe just the Eruption. I imagine the Eruption is higher value than Barbarian Ring, all told. Similarly, Razor Grass, Ambush. I would certainly have Expel the Unworthy higher in the pick order than Solstice Zealot, but I think this is a case where I have plenty of removal and just need a creature. Also not particularly excited about letting my opponents gain life based on the way my deck's shaping up. The Rose-Caught Knight's looking good in my deck too, because I have the Scurry of Gremlins, probably my best card, Double Dog Umbra, Glyph Elemental, Nyxborn Unicorn. So what have we here? The Distinguished Conjurer. Guess I'll just take Hexgold Slith. I think this is, you know, perfect example of the type of card my deck needs. Just 2-drop that gets on the board early and gives me some energy for later stuff. Makes sense. The Unicorn did wheel. So suddenly I'm feeling real good about my draft. I'm cool with Muster the Departed. Pretty easy to get 2 bodies out of it. Also an enchantment for the Rose-Caught Knight. I don't know if I'm going to really be in good shape in terms of the colorless mana requirements, so I think I'm just going to take Expel the Unworthy over the Void Pouncer, which will probably wind up as more or less just a 2-mana 3/1. Oh, and the late Rose-Caught Knight looking so good in my deck. Okay, Static Prison, Unstable Amulet, Inspired Inventor, Rose-Caught Knight, Smelting Charge Bug. So what's the amulet do? Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, 1 damage, pay 2, exile the top card of your library. So how much energy do I have? This itself gives me 1 use. I have 2 Hex Goldsmiths, Solstice Zealot, Scurry of Gremlins. I suspect I should take Static Prison. And then, based on the texture of the draft, I'm probably wheeling Rose-Caught Knight. You know, maybe even Amulet, Inspired Inventor, or Smelting Charge Bug. This is 17 non-land cards. Plus I have some more in the sideboard. Wow, Ugin the Defiler. This is not the right deck for it. Instead, I'm looking more at Ghostfire Slice, Voltstorm Angel. I don't think I can afford to take Dog Umbra. I think I just need like something with a little bit more aggressive potential than that. The Angel would be nice. It is another 5-drop. The Ghostfire Slice... 4 damage to a player, too. I think I should just take that. Also, with the Pinnacle Monk, it's pretty easy to imagine. Just like end of turn, slice you, play the Monk, pick up the slice. Here in my colors, I'm looking at Eerie Auxiliary, sorry, I can't say either of those words. Airy Auxiliary, Mandibular Kite, Smelted Charge Bug. Probably the Charge Bug. If I had some like Proliferate or Modified type stuff, I might take the Auxiliary, but just go for the cheap energy themed card. Well, here's my Proliferate card. Flare of Fortitude, Expel the Unworthy, Solstice Zealot, Wing It. Those are all cards that would maybe make my decks go at Ember Mage, but how good is the Evangel? I can proliferate my energy, the Hex Goldsmiths, Glyph Elemental. Yeah, actually I think there's a lot going on with Metastatic Evangel, and I'm happy to take that. Wow, Kappa Cannoneer. Go for another Charge Bug. Orim's Chant. Auxiliary. Another just Twisted Landscape, which if I was really excited to get the colorless mana for Void Pouncer, I could do that. Kind of like the Auxiliary. So here I have laid out 21 cards plus the 3 double-faced cards. I have approximately like 14, 15 creatures. Wow, Dog Umbra coming around late. In a normal format, I could probably play this deck with 16 lands, but with the 3 double-faced cards, I probably want like 15 lands plus the 3 for a total of 18. I'm happy to not play Expel the Unworthy and Void Pouncer. Wing It could be a fine card to play. Alright, Charge Bug number 3 or Rose Caught Knight number 3. The Knight, just to recap, gets me 2 Unicorns, Glyph Elemental, Muster the Departed, Scurry of Gremlins, triple Dog Umbra, Static Prison. That's a lot. It's an expensive card. Normally, for a deck like this, I would just always take the cheaper creature. But I think the Knight is kind of like uniquely strong here. Now I'm getting a 4th Dog Umbra. So I went from really worried about how this draft was going to shape up to now I'm actually making like some tough cuts. Almost could be like mono white here. It's well, I mean, if I wanted to, if I thought there was a reason to play mono white, I think I could. Definitely a Scurry of Gremlins and Ghost Fire Slice is just exciting enough that I want to be able to play it. So if I was to add 9 plains and 6 mountains, that would give me a 10-8 mana base in favor of white. Let's, I guess, use that as a starting point. We assume the Ambush and the Eruption are more likely to be played as lands, whereas the Pinnacle Monk might be good enough that I'm offering to play it as a spell. Going to organize my optional cards as creatures versus non-creatures. I'm going to say definitely not to expel the Unworthy because I just have an obscene amount of removal already. This here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 creatures, so that's pretty light. I would love to have more than that. All the removal seems too strong though, like Static Prison, Fanged. Okay, Wing It is out because I'm just gonna play a removal spell in that slot. Can you imagine cutting Fanged Flames from a deck? I don't know if I can. Muster the Departed. The advantage of this is that it can get found off Rose Caught Knight, and I think that is pretty significant. Void Pouncer's out. So I would like to make room for more creatures. The Charge Bug seems better and cheaper than Solstice Zealot. The one tiebreaker would be if I wanted to play a mana base that was like more heavily skewed towards white. I wouldn't mind having more 2-drops because I want to get on the board with a 2-drop every game, and then in a perfect world, the Unicorn is actually even better to be bestowed. Unicorn's pretty sick with Charge Bug also, even if I just play the Unicorn as a 2-2. So that's up to an effective 15 creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's getting in one of these removal spells. I can't imagine Static Prison not making the cut with 3 Rose Cod Knights and a bunch of energy. So am I really cutting Fanged Flames from a deck? Is this real? It is a Modern Horizons set, so you got to be prepared to do things that you wouldn't normally do in a limited environment. I think the 15 plus 3 mana base is going to be correct. 10 white versus 7 or 8 red also seems correct. All right, here's my deck. From a very rocky first pack, I think this ended up being quite a good deck. Just good curve, white-red deck with high card quality, and then the Rose Cod Knight thing. I think these are going to be really, really strong. I mean, they're kind of like Ravenous Chupacabras because they're going to find me removal spells so often, and then sometimes they find Scurry of Gremlins and I just win the game. I think Ghost Fire Slice has a lot of potential. Like either 1 mana, just kill your best thing when you get the discount, or I think I'll win some games by finishing off my opponent's life total directly. One, 5, 6, counting my enchantments, 7, 8. I might have to actually set my... No, looks okay. So deciding between playing this tapped or playing a mountain to have the discharge available. So I have to play the mountain because I really do want to get on the board on turn 2, and if I have to pay 3 life for this later, it might even be worth it. Yeah, waiting for those digital Ultimate Guard Katana sleeves to come out. That's what we need. Alright. So probably just Hex Gold Sliff plus tapped land. you need colorless mana to activate the idol, so they're not ready for that just yet. Ooh. Many planar genesises. Okay, I have to imagine I want to just dog Umbra that. Oh! I'm sorry. I had a misunderstanding of what Hex Gold Slith does. I thought I had to pay the 2 energy to get the counter. 2 energy only gives you first strike, though, so I wasted 2 energy there. This is why we practice. Zero 12 defender. So my options here are I can discharge the spawn token, then play Muster the Departed and get 2 tokens. Now, they can sacrifice their spawn token to fizzle this, so it's unlikely for me to bank the energy. Or I can just play Inspired Inventor. You know, something that I haven't given a lot of enough consideration is putting a counter on the Nyxborn Unicorn for the purposes of Mentor. But actually getting the 2 Spirit tokens will be really nice for the purposes of mentoring as well. So I think I'm going to go for the Muster the Departed play. My opponent must have F6'd and missed their opportunity to sacrifice the Eldrazi spawn. My opponent has 0 cards in hand. So here, I mean, I could probably just go like end of turn slice you, untap slice you. I wonder if there's any way Galvanic Discharge should actually get cut because most of my opponent's creatures don't die to it. So, for example, swapping the Discharge for another Charge Bug or a Wing It could be crazy, but could be just crazy enough to work. crazy like a fox, if you will. Can I have that galvanic discharge back? This is actually a scary one because it's not very good to answer via Dog Umbra. Evangel into auxiliary is super sweet. All right, I'll spend my energy. Kind of have a feeling my opponent would not block anyway, but they got me. They got me to use the energy. Seven drop on turn 4. No. No 7 drop. So I want Proliferate to be the last thing on the stack. Just attack you for 10, no big deal. Wow. Okay. Gain 8. Hexproof Annihilator 2. I mean, it does only trade with my ground creatures, so it's not that bad. I'm actually going to choose nothing because then I'm going to get a counter and I'm going to proliferate the counter. So by choosing nothing, I get a 5/6 Rose-Caught Knight that can continue growing from there. Okay, you must block something. Trading your 8 drop for my 2 drop. You got it. Okay. So this is the unfortunate thing that I didn't want to happen, which is having only red mana in my opening hand and can't really develop without white. This wouldn't have been a great hand even with white mana because I don't have any cheap creature. So with the combination of those two flaws, I'm going to mulligan, try to do better. And yeah, this is better. Probably just bottom the second unicorn. My opponent mulliganed as well, by the way. Hey, we've got a visitor. Dino says, I just recently bought a display worth of katanas, 10x, for my LGS. Literally can't get enough black katanas. Yep, they are great. I use them too. What's he up to, you might ask? He's just hanging out. He just thought this might be a good place to sit. Well, I can't even really get through that even giving this first strike. What I could do is give it a counter with the Inspired Inventor. I guess I will do that. If I draw lands, then I can go for, slice, pick it up, slice again. If I draw spells, then I can play the Pinnacle Monk as a land, bestow the Unicorn, see what happens from there. Can be attacking with 2 4-power creatures. Bestowing the Unicorn is pretty juicy here. Let me make sure I'm bestowing on the right creature. If I bestow here, then I have a 5/4 and a 3/3, and this can't block either. Even if it picks up a counter next turn, it still can't block either. I get to keep mentoring for a bit longer if I do it that way. My opponent must have just taken every double-faced land. Gravedig is not that scary. So if I prison this, then I don't have to pay any energy. I can just let this die. My opponent's in chump block mode anyway. Alternatively, I could Dog Umbra this, which kind of locks down both cards at once. Then I attack. My opponent's going to Chumpla Hexgold Slith anyway. All right, we're gonna go for the Dog Umbra. All right, my opponent has seen enough. This is going pretty swimmingly. I hate getting 5-landers in decks like this, but I think this is the type of 5-lander that you're supposed to keep, like 2-drop removal spell, and then just try to develop from there. If 2 of my first 3 draw steps are lands, I'm probably losing this game. But the way I put it in perspective is, if I was to mulligan to 6 and get the same hand, I would like kind of be relieved. I'd be like, whew, okay, I got a functional hand. Both colors of mana, 2-drop creature. So given that, I would rather just keep and make sure that nothing terrible happens. I avoid the risk of ruin. But it is close. It's definitely a borderline hand. So my opponent appears to be like actually full Esper. Cheap cards in both white and black, and we saw an island. Well, my hand is shaping up nicely. Alright, I'm just going to pass and plan to Ghostfire Slice the Guide in response to any creature that my opponent might play. Yeah, I'll take the 1 damage. Just see what you're up to. That's rather annoying. It's a great card against my deck. Well, this is probably the worst Scurry of Gremlins will ever be, but I just want to get 2 bodies on the battlefield so I can support them. My quadruple Dog Umbra deck is very good against Bestow cards. I'm honestly tempted here to play Static Prison and then just use the mana on the energy on Scurry of Gremlins. So the result there would be basically plus 6 damage. So I could attack for 4, or I could play this and use the 4 energy and attack for 10. And basically like blink the Glyph Elemental. It's probably not worth it. I should probably wait. because I'm gonna dog Umbra this and get both cards for a lower price. So I would love to get 10 damage this turn, but I'm gonna force myself to be a little patient. Okay. Okay, we're gonna Razor Grass that thing. Basically, my plan for this turn is Razor Grass, the Scurrilous Sentry, and Dog Umbra, the Witch Enchanter. Ooh! You can spend colorless mana as though it were mana of any color to cast my Dog Umbra. Okay, now I am going to Static Prison the Glyph Elemental. So attack for 4, Static Prison, Glyph Elemental. Then I'll decide what to do with the energy next turn. Feel like I just need to draw probably one more creature to win because, for example, it should be pretty easy for me to end of turn Ghostfire slice my opponent down to 5. Actually, I do just have lethal next turn. So next turn, I can just let the Static Prison die and then pump my team with the Scurry and Sundering Eruption so that nothing can block. So unless my opponent draws a way to gain life or a removal spell or, you know, counter for Ghostfire Slice, then I should have lethal on the board. I think we're going for it. Slice you. I was hoping to draw a creature, but I'm still gonna go for it. Oh, no. And I made an error. I probably should have just targeted one of my own lands or nothing. Yeah, I should have targeted one of my own lands because I gave my opponent a free counter in a close race, and that can definitely matter here. Alright, so we're looking for basically any non-land card, a creature or removal spell. Little help here, please. Oh, no! Oh, what a game. That was brutal. I really thought I was going to win that one. That Witch Enchanter is the scariest card. I mean, that's going to 2-for-1 me every single time. Come on, give me a 2-drop. Let's go 2-drop as the first draw step. Nope. All right, if I can't win with the 2-drop curve out, then I need to find some Rose-Caught Knights. All right, 2-drop right on time. I'm kind of thinking my opponent will choose not to trade against the servo token. Like, this play is, it gives my opponent an option to trade, but if they choose not to trade, then it's much better than bestowing on the servo. Alright, they are trading. So that's less than ideal for me, because I wanted to go wide with the scurry of gremlins and stuff, but at least it's a favorable trade, you know, a token for an actual real creature. Actually, maybe that was not correct. What I could have done is scurry, give haste, attack with just unicorn and 1 token. They're both 3/2s. Then the next turn I play these 2, I get the energy, I use it again. This way I get more energy in the long term because the sliths are in play to see the scurry enter, but it might not be more damage in the long term. Gravedigg. Oh, you're gonna regret that attack. I think I'm just going to not use the first strike. It does allow my opponent to get a favorable trade, but banking the energy should be more worthwhile in the long term. Actually, oh, my opponent's, they're 1 off from being dead, right? I can deal 15. So right now it's 11. I could deal 4 more. All right. Take 15. Oh, okay. Well, should be able to dog Umbra that and still win. On to the finals. Here we go, friends. 2-0. Playing for all the marbles. That sweet, sweet league trophy. And I do like my hand. If it's a mirror match, I feel like having the rose-caught knights should give me an advantage. Not a pure mirror. We're gonna have a little white-green action. I'm going to go for Bestow and play a land. I want to get the maximum value out of my glyph elemental. Force them to fight through my creatures. Save the removal as long as I can. Well, let's make them have it. Interesting, the first strike. Like, what are they representing there, giving their creature first strike? Signature slam. Okay. I feel like that is a reasonable outcome for me. Scurry of Gremlins and pass. It's gonna. It can attack us a 4/3. Yeah, Scurry of Gremlins and pass. All right. It is what it is. Okay. So now I can double up on removal here. Okay, great outcome for me. I basically was just trying to trigger the Morbid on Muster the Departed. So can I just win next turn? Like, if I get up to 8 energy and remove a blocker and give all my creatures +2/+0, then it's 12 +6. Okay, that's not lethal. If I block with everything, worst thing that could happen is +2/+2. Just grinding it out here. Grinding it out. Probably not getting much better than just giving haste to my knight. So attack for 10. You're not quite dead next turn, but it's going to be tough to come back. So maybe I want even more removal. Muster the Departed was nice in creating 2 bodies, but I feel like there are going to be games where I'm not able to attack. Am I possibly going further down on lands? Let's try this. So I'm down to like 17 lands, 14 plus 3 when I'm on the draw, and I have maximum removal. And regrets about going down to 17 lands. Okay, so I'll keep this one, and I can bottom either Plains or Fanged Flames. I think just Plains. Please no tricks. Please no tricks. Yes. Oof. So I need to... Wow, brutal. So I need to hope that I can Fanged Flames this before my opponent gets up to 5 mana and blinks their Golden Tail Trainer. But right now, things are not looking good for our hero. Mountain. Plains. Mountain. Oh, actually, I'm kind of just dead. Not. Yeah, if they just equip the kite on the watchdog, I'm gonna be dead. But might as well make them do it. See? Sometimes they don't do it. My thinking there is you equip the kite on the watchdogs, that's 4 damage guaranteed, and then 2 1/1 creatures, and one of them gets through. Alright. So now, match 3, game 3 for absolutely all the marbles, playing for a league trophy. And I have to decide how many lands do I want to play, and do I want to play or draw? I actually kind of want to draw. When you look at how many removal spells I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11 removal spells. And I want to just kind of like make land drops, get up to my Rose-Caught Knights, win with Scurry of Gremlins in the end. I don't think I'm going to win by rushing my opponent down. I think I'm just going to play the 17 lands and choose to draw again. Sundering Eruption. My opponent did have some flyers. Yeah, it's still better than a mountain. All right, here we go. Making the unconventional choice of choosing to draw, and my hand is actually a good hand to be on the draw with because I want to hit my 3rd land. I want to get critical mass. I've got my removal to defend me. Okay, I like everything that's going on so far. Do I want to Dog Umbra that or Expel the Unworthy it? I think I want to Dog Umbra it. I think this is right. Just cast the Glyph Elemental. Play this tapped. Hey, I am going to Amsterdam, and I would be honored to sign your cards. Feel free to find me anytime between matches. I'll even likely have some dedicated time at the Ultimate Guard booth on Sunday at MagicCon Amsterdam. Alright, so my Ghostfire Slice is discounted. That's nice. So just dog Umbra on this and slice the trainer. Could also slice the inventor and then just like kind of let the trainer be around to discount the future Ghostfire slices. That sounds like a better plan to me. Pow. Sliced. Well, if the game goes long enough for me to play my cards, then I feel like my plan of being on the draw with maximum removal and grindy stuff is going to work out. So here I can expel, I can slice. Sure, I'll take it. Now becomes the Rosecott Knight battle. Indebted Spirit. Okay. Oof. Well, I do really want to use my mana, so even though it's kind of a goofy play... Nah, it doesn't make any sense. I guess I just have to pass. Oof. Hand's a little heavy here. Yep. If my opponent attacks with the knight, I'm willing to gamble on the double block. Like they haven't had a trick on previous turns. This doesn't get flashed or anything, right? No. They haven't had a trick with double white on previous turns. So I think I just need to gamble that this is going to work out. Oh my god, are you serious? Well, the good news is I've now drawn all of the 5 mana cards that I have in my deck. So I can't draw another. I can draw the Airy Auxiliary is the only other card in my deck that I can't cast right now. I'm just going to die to the 6/6 trample. Oh my god. Come on, land. This is so incredibly painful. Just trying to hold on. A little help here. I have to trade with the Ren, otherwise I'm just getting buried here. Or sorry, the 6. Such a shame. I think I actually have to take nothing because my opponent can pre-combat retrace the Inspired Inventor and make the 6 a 4/6, and then if I can't block either creature, then I'm just in chump block mode and in huge trouble. All right, I'm going to have to settle for 2 and 1 in this draft. The good news is I have enough time to do another, so I'm going to take a quick break away from my computer, and when I come back, I'll be drafting again, so don't go anywhere. And I'm back. Let's do it. Okay, what have we here? We have Grist, Fanatic of Ronus, some other cool stuff. I imagine I'm going to take the Fanatic of Ronus. Grist is just like very tricky to transform. I wouldn't mind taking it, but I think Fanatic of Ronus is a great card that's a lot easier to use. Consuming Corruption and Wither and Bloom are cool. Drowner of Truth is probably the next most interesting card. But yeah, Fanatic it is. Quest for the Necropolis, Ral and the Implicit Maze, Drownyard Lurker, Malevolent Rumble, Nyxborn Hydra. Tell me about Ral and the Implicit Maze. 2 damage to each creature and planeswalker the opponent controls. Discard a card to get 2 cards off your library, and then create a Spellgorger Weird. That seems strong, and red-green I think is an early front runner for the best color combination, so I don't mind this start. Another Consuming Corruption. Somebody's going to be happy here. Legion Leadership is cool. Basking Brood Scale. Galvanic Discharge. You know, in a non-energy deck, I could actually see the Brood Scale being stronger than the Discharge. Am I more likely to be green or red from this position is an interesting question. Like, is there a world where I pivot into red-white or red-blue? This is a close pick, I think. I think Fanatic of Ronus is better than Ral and the Implicit Mage. You know, maybe the Discharge pick 3 is like a bit of a signal. Ugh. I'm very uncertain about this pick, but I'm going to take Galvanic Discharge. I'm kind of going on the logic of like great red uncommon followed by an obviously great red removal spell. Like my neighbors are probably not interested in this color. And then some evidence to support that is I'm getting either Izzet Generatorium or Conduit Goblin. But then on the other hand, there's Bridgeworks Battle and Eldrazi Repurposer. So, like, Bridgeworks Battle is probably just the single best card in this pack. If the green cards weren't here, then I could probably convince myself, like, oh, you know, blue-red energy is super, super open. Let's go for it. But I'm just going to take the battle and just be on red-green good cards for now. The red-green good cards have started to dry up. So I'm either branching into another color with like Planar Genesis or Suppression Ray, or I could take Foul Strike or Drownyard Lurker. I guess I'll take Drownyard Lurker because, you know, that card kind of looks like a blue card, but I think it would be totally fine to play in a red-green Eldrazi deck if that's what the situation calls for. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much here. The Suppression Ray, yeah, and blue-red energy, you know. Nice. Bountiful landscape is actually really, really appealing. Gonna take that. Fledgling Dragon, Waterlogged Teachings, Expanding Ooze, Petrifying Meddler. So I do have to take an off. Well, assuming Fledgling Dragon is not a desirable card, which I don't think it is, then I have to go off color here. If I'm going off color, then maybe I want the Meddler. Like, can I get to blue green Eldrazi from here? Yeah, I think I can get to blue green Eldrazi from here. Another Bountiful Landscape. This is the best of the lands because it's the color combination. Well, it's the color combination that I'm in, and it's the color combination that needs colorless mana the most. Pretty late Wither and Bloom, too. Oh, Drowner of Truths. Perfect. So at this point, I am green with either blue or red. The green definitely did dry up, but maybe I'm just willing to fight for it. Huh. All right, plan A is green red or green blue, but I could still be green red or even like red blue. I have a lot of playables. I have some cool stuff. The problem is it's like a little bit disjointed where I have the red energy cards and the blue Eldrazi cards. There's a blue red energy card. Yeah, past pick 3, I didn't see any green. Party Thrasher. Non-creature spells you cast from exile of Convoke. Beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard a card. If you do, you get your pick of your top 2 cards from exile. Good card. Also, Brain Surge, Sink into Stupor, another Bountiful Landscape. Unstable Amulet if I get to blue-red energy. Interesting. I'm tempted by Brain Surge, Bountiful Landscape, and Party Thrasher. Honestly, like, it's super unexciting, but it might just be correct to take another Bountiful Landscape. Because this is going in my deck 100% of the time, and it's facilitating the colorless stuff, which I don't have a ton of yet, but I'm hoping to. Alright, Signature Slam or Snapping Void Craw. I suspect I should take Signature Slam and then try to wheel this. Well, I mean, it would be like amazing if it wheeled. I shouldn't count on it wheeling, but there's probably some chance that's slightly higher than 0 that it will wheel, whereas Signature Slam is an actual 0. Oh, wow. So I could have a second Ral and the implicit Maze. That's pretty interesting, actually. So back to thinking I'm red-green. Reckless Pyro Surfer. Whenever a land enters battlefield under your control, gains Battle Cry. Solar Transformer. I suspect I should take Solar Transformer. My deck probably would be the best right now if I had just gone all in on blue-red energy, but I had a hard time getting away from the Fanatic of Ronus. I do think that card's really great. Omo, Queen of Vesuva. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, put an everything counter on each of up to one target land and up to one target creature. And it doesn't really do anything. Okay. Well, another Transformer, another Discharge. Probably need Discharge. Well, now we've slightly shifted so that I'm now thinking I'm definitely red with either blue or green as second color. Corum the Undertaker. Powerful card, requires a black splash, which I only have Solar Transformer to facilitate. Basking Brood Scale, Cyclops Superconductor. I should just take the Brood Scale. Amphibian Downpour, Null Elemental Blast. Twisted Landscape. I will have to get some playables at a certain point. Sylvan Safekeeper? I mean, I guess. I don't think this Storm Drake is anything too special. Charge Bug probably makes the cut just as a cheap card that powers up my Galvanic discharges. Man, am I going to be blue-red after all this? Could also just be Teamer with bad mana. Amped Raptors, pretty sweet here. Sundering Eruption, Basking Brood Scale, another Discharge. Yeah, gotta take the Amped Raptor. Yeah, I mean, the Amped Raptor, like, if I just play a Discharge or a Solar Transformer and then play the Amped Raptor, I can cast most of the cards in my deck. It seems pretty sweet. Furnace Hellkite. It's a Shivan Dragon. Basically, Shivan Dragon in my deck. Should cost 6 a lot of the time because of the Solar Transformers. Take another Solar Transformer. Evolution Witness. Sheltering Landscape. Void Pouncer. Five mana, 5/3 trample haste. I feel like I'm not going to get any more green cards for the rest of the draft. So that then it's the question is like what then? Do I wind up blue red or do I wind up Teamer? All right, I just took a Solar Transformer. Oh my god, Wrath of the Skies. Is there any way I can play that with 3 Solar Transformers? Well, maybe it's not even that good with Solar Transformer. Do I just accept that I'm blue-red and take the Cyclops Superconductor? Or stick to red-green, take the Brood Scale? Alright, after all that, I'm blue-red. Ugh. Unless I'm trying to splash green or something. I'll just take Glimpse the Impossible. Probably have to take Scurry of Gremlins and just splash it off the Solar Transformers. I actually do have one. Wait, didn't I have a... No, I guess I don't have a Naya colored land. There's a Naya land, but I think my deck needs deep analysis. Got the full dirtily blue-red deck. I'm going to take the Petrifying Meddler because I think I just need like any card that helps me win at this point. Oh, baby, that'll help me win. So this is such a weird deck. Ether Spike's probably great for me. Serum Visionary came around. I need that. Rose-Caught Knight? I have a lot of hits. That was the weirdest draft ever. From blue-green to a double scurry of gremlins. So I probably don't want to go too heavy on lands because I have the triple solar transformer. So either like 16 plus the Drowner and the 3 solar transformers, or maybe 17. I also have a cantrip. Am I excited about Glimpse the Impossible in this deck? I feel like I'm not. I think this is my deck here. And I'm going to have enough time to play one match with this deck before I wrap up the stream. Yeah, the mana rocks are good because they support the energy theme and they fix my white mana for the white splash. The Rose-Caught Knight can hit 2 Scurries, 2 Ral in the Implicit Maze, 3 Solar Transformers, Genitorium, and Charge Bug. But the quality of my 4 and 5 mana enchantments is so high that I think it's pretty exciting. All right, here we go. Have to mulligan this. Okay, so we have a red source, a blue source, a bunch of energy cards. I guess I'll bottom the plains. So then it's going to be like draw step, tune the narrative. If I need to, I can loot looking for another land, and then playing Amped Raptor with a big amount of energy. Could potentially be quite nice. Oh, boy. Well, now I have to Galvanic Discharge that. Change of plans. I think I'll discard the Scurry. Pretty disappointing to brick all those times on land. Well, let's try this. Okay, nice. Mana fixing. I actually think I'm gonna just attack. Get a little greedy here. Pretty brutal. 17, or I guess 16 cards in. 15 cards in without seeing a third land. Seems like a good matchup for Ral in the Implicit Maze, so if and when I get to cast that, should kill some material. All right. So finally, I found a land. Can think about discharging at instant speed. Seems to me like I should just flashback, even though it is does cost me a bit of life here. Well, I'm going to be all in on casting Round the Implicit Maze next turn. Okay, so wow. Oh, I blew it. I needed to kill the propagator drone in response. Well, I don't even know if that would have saved me. Maybe this is just too much. All right. That's enough. That's enough. Actually, was gonna play the Cyclops, but changed my mind and decided that the Transformer into my big stuff is a better approach, especially given that my opponent could easily be holding an instant speed removal spell. Okay, Malevolent Rumble. There we go. Kill off some tokens, please. Alright, Scurry of Gremlin is going to be 12 energy. It's impossible for that to not be lethal, right? Sweet. Game 3. We have a couple targets for consigned to memory. Triggered ability. Huh. So I could board out Rosecott Knight, Charge Bug. Let's try this. This hand has some potential when you consider the Drowner of Truth as an island. It's like turn 2 Genitorium, then tune the narrative. If I can cast a Scurry, I can start drawing cards. Yeah, so it needs a little help, but there's a lot of good pieces in place. That's strange. Now, having drawn the island probably does change the equation on playing Drowner of Truth. I see. I see what you're getting at. Alright, sure, I'll plan to just cycle the Drown Yard Lurker. I don't like my life total going down this low, but I think if when I choose to, I'll be able to start jump blocking. And normally the Hydra has trample, but it loses trample given the Trickster Elk. So my opponent seems to just be splashing a Johnny. Okay. Oh. Well, it's a 7-5. So how likely am I to win next turn? Tune the Narrative gets me up to 3 energy, then Scurry gets me +7. So I can double activate. Oh, I didn't. I could have blocked here. I chose not to. I don't know why. So it's a 10 energy. I double activate. My opponent blocks this. They take 12. Yes, I think I win. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 here. No. Wow, this is like the second time I've had a moment like this in just a short stream. Okay. Man, I had some really close losses today. Oh, and you know what? I should have suspected it because they attacked into the 4-5 with the 3-3. So this is what they were representing, like an actual combat trick. But um, I guess like galvanic discharge is maybe in the range of what they could have had there. I don't know if it winds up going better for me if I try to sit back and block, because I probably couldn't have beaten the siege smash. But anyway, just a little bit of an interesting one, and turned out to be a heartbreaker. Well, it would have been nice to end the stream on a win there, but that's not going to be the way it plays out this time. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember to click follow on the Ultimate Guard Live channel, because we're going to have rotating roster of awesome guests. Seth Manfield is streaming later today in the United States Eastern Time evening. And on the way out, I'm going to send you over to Yellow Hat. So join me in raiding Yellow Hat, and have a great rest of the day. Hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone.